Good morning, Gators.
Welcome back to another edition of Swamp Talk. I'm Weston.
And I'm Ellie. Now for some announcements.
Miss Barricat's class is still asking for donations to send care packages to U.S. soldiers in Afghanistan. If you want to help support our troops, you can donate items including, but not limited to, grooming products, personal hygiene products, hard candies, mints, beef jerky, chapstick, K-cups, coffee, tea, cider, cocoa, and wipe-sealed packages. You can turn these items into room 531 until November 7th.
Our school's JSA took part in a debate competition in Fort Lauderdale this past weekend. We came away with 5 Best Speaker Awards. Congratulations to Greta Moran, Angel Leverett, Ethan Graff, Joseph Panetta, and Zachary Smith.
Speaking of accomplishments, our very own LOHS alum Remington Walls wrote a book along with his mom, Mrs. Walls, the book called Home Plate, A True Story of Resilience. The book talks about Rem overcoming his impossible odds of a diagnosis he received early on in life. So make sure to go check it out and support a fellow Gator.
The election for Florida governor will be held November 6th. If you are 18 or older, please do your civic duty and vote for our next governor. Voting will be held from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. and early voting has already begun. Make sure to bring a valid photo with your ID and signature to your polling location.
Man, I hate politicians. It's crazy what they're doing.
Wait, did you just say you hate politicians?
Yeah.
Why?
I just don't agree with what they believe in. I wish there was some way I could voice my views on politics.
Well, there is. The midterm elections. You can vote for your senator and your governor, and they represent you in our big nation.
Wow.
Yeah. Although I don't agree with your own opinions, I do think that you should have a vote. And I think you should vote too. Although you may not be able to go out and vote in the real elections, at least come to the JSA mock election in the Commons during lunch. See you at the voting booth.
This weekend, the annual community fair, Swamp Fest, will be held at the Land O'Lakes Community Center. Tickets are $15 to be pre-ordered on their website, lolswampfest.com, and $25 at the door. Be sure to come out and experience the fun.
Gators, if you want to make a submission to the Reflections competition, the deadline is today at 2 p.m. Entries can be brought to Mrs. Reyes in room 102A. Good luck, Gators. And now for some sports announcements.
Tonight there's an away football game at 5A at 7:30. Be sure to come out and support our team.
Now for another conspiracy theory segment.
Hey there, Gators. Halloween may have passed, but we still have another edition of Conspiracy Theories.
Here in America, we have our share of conspiracy theories about UFOs. Think Roswell, the infamous UFO incident of the 1950s. But today we're covering a case overseas from the 80s, the Rendlesham Forest incident.
It was Christmas time in Rendlesham, a small village in Suffolk, England, and U.S. Air Force Lieutenant Colonel Charles Halt sees in the forest what he assumes to be a UFO.
He records himself on tape investigating what he thought to be flashing lights in the trees and starlight objects that hovered above, later even writing a memo under the title Unexplained Lights in 1981, and then again in 2010 an affidavit defending what he saw.
Additionally, around the same time, Staff Sergeant Jim Peniston claimed to have seen and touched a UFO in the forest, documenting the symbols that were supposedly on the craft.
These claims are pretty controversial though, and since they were reported, some eyewitnesses have claimed that the alleged UFO was just a light misinterpreted from the Oxford Nest Lighthouse, while others have said that the bright hovering lights were just really bright stars.
Either way, whether the men mistook what they saw and it truly is a hoax, or there really is a UFO cover-up going on, the accounts are still pretty interesting.
Thanks, Gators. That's it for conspiracy theories.
Later, Gators.
Lastly, we have a What's Happening in Your Class segment. This edition, Science Labs.
That's all for today, Gators.
Tune in next time for another edition of Swamp Talk.